Hey guys, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. I got the questions on the keyboard, computer. First question, what is your full name? My full name is Laura Dolci. There is no middle name. Where did I grow up? I grew up half of my life in Italy. I started off in Turin, my hometown, until I was 8 years old, and I finished with 3 years in Modena. And then the other half, I grew up in the United States. I spent my first 6 years in Lewiston, Maine, featuring boarding school right under Canada, and then 5 years in Boston. So Italy and the US. Why did I start my travel blog and travel vlog? It's a long story. To give you the shortest but full version possible, I'm 19 years old and I go on this solo trip around 5 European countries. I start to feel this sense of fulfillment and happiness and wholeness that as a third culture kid I was never feeling. And I had an epiphany at this museum in Berlin. They had this Wanderlust exhibition and I found a song that explains my feelings as a third culture kid to the T. And from there I figured out that I feel most at home when surrounded by the unknown when I'm traveling, because that's what I grew up with. Growing up, I've always been the friend that everyone came to for what to eat in Italy, where to go to Italy, or to other countries that I may have visited. So it was always a passion for me to help people experience the best of a country or a destination, but also traveling lets me feel fully complete and at home, again, besides my loved ones. In a recap, I started my travel blog and travel vlog because I want to help people travel deeper and truly experience the best of a destination, and also because it's my passion since I was a kid. Next question. What is my favorite food? I am a foodie. My favorite food really depends on my mood. I love me some bibimbap, pho. What I would do for pho: pastel de nata or pastel de Belém, pasta, pizza. I actually didn't like pizza growing up, so now I'm making up for all my missed years and I eat way too much pizza. My Italian food is definitely my favorite food, but things like pho and bibimbap really have my heart. Are you a tea person or a coffee drinker? Right here I got my coffee. I love tea, especially iced teas. The thing is, between the two, coffee is my essential. I cannot have a good morning if it does not involve coffee first thing. What's one small thing that makes your day better? Well, coffee. What's a hill you'll die on? I hope I don't lose my Italian citizenship saying this, but the hill I'll die on is that any Italian that tells you fruit does not belong on pizza and that pineapple is an abomination, pineapple on pizza, is a major hypocrite. I will explain. In Italy, we love pizza with pear, gorgonzola, and walnuts. Pears. Pear is a fruit. This pizza is so beloved. So anyone who tells you no fruit on pizza, because we already do it. Also, tomato is a fruit. I rest my case. What's your dream destination? For the longest time, it was both Japan and Australia. I've been to Japan last year. So if you're going to Japan, make sure to read my blog posts. They're perfect for first-time visitors. I did all the research and all the experiences, so you don't have to. And Australia, specifically Cairns, I never know how to pronounce the Australian destination names, but Cairns, where you have the Great Barrier Coral Reef, that's been my biggest dream since high school, especially for the jellyfish. And Yeah, I wanted to go to university there actually. What's something that always makes you laugh? The videos where moms have gassy babies and and they make their little babies do little bicycle movements and they release them of gas. That's always precious and very funny. Do you plan your trips in advance or go with the flow? Such a last minute person when it comes to planning my travels. Not very good. I think the most planning I've ever done was with Japan because that's a whole different world. I am going to Italy actually in 4 days, and the only thing, you guys, I have planned is my stay in Turin. I need to be better at planning in advance, but I also love giving myself the freedom to go freely and with the flow, because that's how I think you can find the hidden gems and the local spots. You just let yourself get lost in the best way possible. Are you an introvert, extrovert, or ambivert? I've always been more of an extrovert, but I think after COVID, I've become more of an ambivert. I would say I'm an extrovert who then needs to recharge. I love people, I love meeting people, but after a bit, I definitely need to recharge my social batteries. Do you prefer the beach or the mountains? I grew up being the biggest lover of the sea, so I'm gonna put beach, my number one, but mountains have been growing on me in the recent years. What is your idea of comfortable attire? Especially in the summer, loose dress or have a skirt. What's something you're irrationally good or bad at? I hear the word irrational and I think irrational fear, which makes me want to say I'm irrationally bad at putting gas in a car, but that's more of a fear that blocks me. I have this fear that if I'm the one doing gas, the car is gonna explode. Same with emails. It'll take me an hour to send an email because I have this irrational fear that something's wrong with it. I need to come back to this one. What is your morning routine while traveling? My perfect morning routine is to get ready. It always involves a quick but nice skincare routine, and I am out the door as soon as I wake up. I love walking around a city center, just seeing the city wake up, go for a nice little breakfast, and just see where my feet take me. What's something that makes you feel instantly calm? Oi. Instantly calm, my vision is being underwater, but an underwater like my childhood in Alassio, my childhood summers. It's just white sand and clean blue water. I keep giving you guys two answers. I'm sorry. I was gonna say Ludovico Einaudi, his music, and he's from Turin too. That also makes me feel very calm right away. But the word instantly calm, underwater. Under the sea. What inspires you? Brave people. So people who just go for things, they say what's on their mind, they push through fear. What's one travel experience that changed your perspective on life? During that trip where I went around 5 European countries, the first lesson came when I was in the Royal Palace with my grandma, and there were a bunch of us just taking photos, me on my little iPhone, others with their big cameras, and being 19, if a man approaches me, I'm a bit skeptical. I'm like, you probably have no reason to be talking to me because of past experiences that made me believe that. And this man was looking at me while he was taking pictures with his camera, and he sees me going for a specific painting in the ceiling, a little specific part, and he comes up to me and he tries to talk to me, but he doesn't know neither English or Italian, just Portuguese. And at that time I knew close to nothing with Portuguese. So he comes up and he shows me his camera and he's like, this picture, come take it at this corner. And I was like, oh, like this guy came up to me so he could share with me this beautiful part of the ceiling so that I could also grab that picture. And from that moment, I was like, okay, this is a safe person I can talk with, no weird intentions. And we just connected right away. We spoke a mix of Portuguese, my broken Spanish back then, Italian, English, like just throwing. Why are you doing this to me? We were just throwing languages together. We both talked about how travel is very important to us. That was an experience that changed my perspective on life, which now that I think about it, maybe isn't life, but the lesson was that stranger does not always mean danger. And that's changed all my travels afterwards. What are your life goals? To be happy, to be healthy, to make the most out of my life, and most importantly, that always comes back to me, is to be able to both pay it forward and pay it back. This whole travel blogging life I'm living would not be possible with the support I've received from my loved ones. And I just want to make sure that, one, I can pay it back to my loved ones. And then the day that I might have kids and then nephews, I want to pay it forward and help them and support them in making their dreams a reality the same it was done for me. Do you ever feel at home in one place, or does home move with you? As a third culture kid who's grown up in 2 different countries, I lost home a long time ago, as in a geographical home. There is no place in this world that I visit and I'm like, I belong here 100,000%. So for me, home is wherever the heart is, as cheesy as that sounds. It's so true. If I am with my friends, I feel at home. If I am with my boyfriend, I feel at home. If I am with my family, I feel at home. And it's just where I can be myself the most. It's where I feel loved. The other place I feel at home at is airports, and I don't know if you can hear the bells. I can hear the bells, my head is spinning. But yeah, home does move with me. Wherever I go, I have quoting the song that changed my life, it might be butchered, I have a floating house. I literally wear my home on my shoulders. Unless it's my loved ones, they walk with me. What's one thing you've learned about the world by traveling through different cultures? We're all the same. People are all the same. Doesn't matter your religion, your culture, where you're from, whatever it may be. We are all the same, and people are wonderful. How many countries have you traveled to? I am very much a country repeater. I prefer visiting the same countries over and over again. That way I get to know them instead of capital hopping, country hopping. So I counted yesterday, I've been to 19 countries. 19 to 20, I'm pretty sure just 19 though. What's your favorite part about revisiting a place? So that goes perfectly in the previous answer. My favorite thing about revisiting a place is that every time you revisit, there is something new to admire. There's something new you hadn't noticed before, or a new experience that will make you connect with the place even more or on a deeper level. I would say is the perspectives, the new eyes you gain each time you visit, and how much deeper you get to know a place. Do you feel like you blend in or stand out when you travel? I mean, I travel to Italy and I get told I don't look Italian and I look Swedish. So I would like to say I blend in, but I don't even blend in my own home country. I'm always told I don't look Italian. Maybe it's also the outfits I wear. Maybe they're more American. I think the only country I probably don't stand out in is the US, because that's a melting pot of everyone. And then everywhere else, well, maybe in Sweden, who knows? Because that's the country I'm always told I look like. Do you ever feel like you're from anywhere? No. I think I am the perfect blend of everything I've experienced and learned, and for the different years I grew up in different destinations. I am just too much of a mix to feel as if I'm from a specific place. Like, I used to feel more Italian than American, and I still do, but how Italian I feel has definitely decreased. I keep becoming more and more a citizen of the world, especially now with having lived in Spain. Now there are things here in Spain that I have adopted. What's something you miss from a place you used to live in? I always say this, I terribly miss is driving on the highways in Maine when you just have a highway and you just keep going. There's close to no traffic many times. I would just put my favorite music and have my concerts. Yeah, I miss that a lot. What's the weirdest combo of foods you love because of how you grew up? I don't think anything I would say is a weird combo. I think the US is the country that always comes up with the craziest combos of food. Little editing intermission. I had these two foods living in my very, very subconscious because of how traumatizing they were. I will not be offering explanations for the first one and as to why I ate this, but it was tortellini on pizza. Second closest is pasta with taco filling, which was the only gluten-free option my university offered me one night. And I think I need to go talk to a therapist for bringing these foods back up. What is the weirdest thing you've seen while traveling? Oh, you guys, this was borderline traumatizing. Picture this. It's me and one of my best friends. We are traveling around Italy together for a girls' trip, and we are in Cinque Terre, and we're on an empty train or metro. We're on an empty metro. It's just us. We're chilling. All of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, because what happens? There's an Italian man and an American woman who are absolutely as-faced, just gone. They drank way too much, and they sit right next to us in an empty metro, and it's a full-on make-out session, touching each other everywhere. This guy was even missing a finger while, and you just couldn't escape it. You couldn't escape the sounds, you couldn't escape the sights, because I had them right here and then I had their reflection in the glass. So that was the weirdest thing I've seen in the recent years. Horrendous, do not recommend. What's your pet peeve when traveling? After COVID, we've spent 2 years and a half with masks, and now people choose to travel while sick and not put a mask on? It's beyond me. I thought COVID had a small silver lining of teaching people to care about others, such as, I'm sick and I don't want to spread it to other people who might be vulnerable or have vulnerable family members. But that got thrown out the window. When I visited Japan, this whole thing about people being in public sick and not wearing a mask got intensified by 100 times. So I get irrationally mad when people cough near me and don't have a mask. Didn't COVID teach you something? What's something you're tired of pretending to like? I don't think there's anything I pretend to like. No. What's something you always forget to pack? Because I travel fairly often, I've gotten into my routine and I know exactly where everything is. Yeah, in general, I don't forget to pack things. What's one place that surprised you for better or worse? Oh, I think a lot of people relate to my experience and others were blessed enough with a very, very different experience. But Venice, what really shocked me is the quality of food there. We went to the best rated restaurants After pretty thorough research, also being celiac, that was another layer of research I had to do. And it was the worst food I've had in Italy. I did not know that any destination in Italy could have such bad cuisine, but Venice, I really hope to go someday again and not have a cursed experience and try actual food. But what I experienced there, you guys, I would genuinely tell people to avoid Venice simply because of the food situation. What's one thing about being a travel blogger people don't realize? I guess one thing is that it's a 24/7 job. You are constantly finding something else you need to do, whether it's traveling, researching keywords, optimizing old blog posts, optimizing your page speed, answering to emails. You probably appear on social media too. So travel blogger is just a humongous world of responsibilities and things you need to keep up with, and you're constantly learning. What's something small that makes you feel at home when you're far away? Food. Bolognese, I think of my mom's ragu, and it brings me back to my mom. What's one thing that you're proud of that many people know about? I feel like it makes more sense if it's that people don't know about. I will say my perseverance. I think I'm very good at persevering and pushing through, and give a shout out to my Delulu is the Solulu brain. I just always keep pushing forward. If you could switch lives with someone for a day, who would it be? The first person that comes to mind is Dua Lipa. She's my favorite singer, and I think she just lives a very cool life. It'd be cool to be Dua Lipa for a day. If you could live in just one city forever, which one and why? Let me know in the comments if you relate to what I'm about to say. As a third culture kid, the idea of living in one place for the rest of my life makes me feel so claustrophobic. I'm like, who can stay in a place for more than 5 years? It horrifies me. And I know that one day I'll be able to find a place where I can stay for longer than 5 years, but I'll probably need to hold the hand of a therapist and my boyfriend at the other. It's hard to answer. I will say though, Andalusia, I've fallen in love with this region, and it's one of the first places I could see myself living here for the rest of my life because it has everything. But then there's the olive pollen situation, and I have like a month or 2 months where I can't leave the house without a mask. So that, if I had to choose one place to live in for the rest of my life, at this moment, my little tripod went to sleep. The final answer to this is Madrid, even though I am not convinced about it. Right now it has the best potential. Final question. Would you do travel vlogs in space if given the opportunity? If this was 16-year-old Laura, I would say heck yes. Because I love me a starry situation. So what's more starry than space? But I think I would say no now at this age, because the reason I travel is to experience places, cultures, meet people, whether it's, a quick, I'm sitting at the restaurant and I chat with them, or I meet someone for longer. And I don't think travel offers that, space travel would offer that. Does this make me boring? I don't know. I think right now I would say no, I wouldn't do travel vlogs in space if given the chance, because I wouldn't get what I like from travel out of it, if that makes sense. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. Again, please let me know in the comments if there's something that you related to or you want to answer any of the questions I answered. That way I get to know you as well. We got quite a few travels coming up with Italy, and then we'll be back in Granada with all the local content. So please let me know if there's anything specific you want to see or you have any specific questions I should answer. All right, bye.